Welcome and thank you for tuning in to Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. The following content may involve explicit language and materials, so listener discretion is advised. Welcome back, everyone. I am very excited because missing. All right, we have already got this thing chatting it up. It's going to be crazy, I feel like, tonight. But brand spanking new guest. And I have been watching his live feeds off and on any chance that I can get. He's usually a late nighter. I'm old and I work too many jobs and I got to get up early to take the kid to school. So I don't get to watch him all the time. But Robert from Deja Vu Exploration. And he's got this really, what should I do? All right. Feel free to hit these balls and light them up if you want, everybody. And I would like to point out that it is currently solid, okay? It's been going a little bananas, and I was a little afraid that there was something interfering with it because it was going so crazy. But it is solid, and it is calm right now. So if it starts moving, it is not me. This is just a thing behind me. I can't even hit it if I want to. But just so everybody knows, again, I've been watching him on TikTok. I want one. Okay. It wants one. It wants a TikTok. But anyway, I've been watching him. So as per the norm, Robert, I'm going to give you an opportunity here to introduce yourself, what it is that you do, why you do it, anything. It's just your little piece here for some self-advertising. Take it away, my friend.
All right. So I am Deja Vu Exploration. I started out as an urban exploring channel, and I gradually grew into doing the paranormal stuff. At one point, I had a group of like 10 people helping me. It is now dwindled down to just myself again, but I've been doing it for almost 2 years now.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize it'd been that long. I thought you like started when I did, and I will be. So this is going to come out after my 1 year sacrifice. Okay. Scrying. I think it's scrying, but they can't pronounce their words. All right, Ghost, get it with you. They actually do that a lot when I have my lights and stuff on, so they know that I'm trying to contact them. So that means that probably whatever's here is the one that also refers to me as the witch. So hello, whoever you are. But yeah, so I will be 1 week on Christmas, or Jesus Christ, 1 year. Woo! That shot I took before the pod is great. Absolutely. So they are loving the party. But yeah, that'll be my 1 year. And I thought you were started with mine. So when you say urban exploration, is that like the people that go like spelunking live? Spelunking's a thing, right? That's where you like, what is that? Like you scuba dive in the caves?
Oh, yeah. No.
Or tunnels? Isn't that spelunking?
I don't know.
It's a cool word, whatever it is.
Yeah. No, I used to do abandoned buildings.
No wonder why you just walked right into the paranormal.
Yeah.
That's what you
a lot of like trails late at night, like 2 o'clock in the morning in snowstorms, pitch black trails. And then moved more into helping people with like paranormal stuff.
Well, that's understandable. I always like your live feeds, except you get some weirdos on your live.
I do.
Like the last night that sounded like they were like 10.
Yes.
Like 12 hanged. Did you see that? I'm pretty sure. It wasn't last night that it was saying hanged, was it? Because I have one that consistently says that.
No, it was 3 nights ago.
Healthy.
Thursday night. Wednesday, I think it was.
Maybe I'm hanging out with yours.
Maybe.
It's cool. They're all welcome here. We know the rules. Anybody that's negative, outside the gate. Anybody who doesn't have anything, if you're neutral or positive, you're allowed inside the gate. Otherwise, you got a GTFO. That's the rules of the podcast. This is a safe zone, so anything that wants to talk can talk into the phone.
Yes.
Bobby. Robert is Bobby. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this is yours, or it's talking to you. That is so crazy. My face is so red right now.
Hey. That used to be my nickname when I was a kid.
Okay, so whenever this knows you, I'm
Don't
usually
be
a very
afraid.
good mouthpiece for anything and everything that wants to talk.
Mhm.
That is insane. Oh my God, that's crazy. Okay. Is there anything else? Oh, you are on TikTok and you are on YouTube, but all of your lives are on TikTok
Yes.
currently.
Sure.
Do you have a schedule that you keep as far as when you go live so that way people can tune in?
None.
None? Okay, you're like
Um,
me, fly by the seat of your pants or
yeah.
lack thereof. This is the No Pants podcast.
Usually anytime after usually 8 p.m. till if I'm not started it by 10, then I'm probably not going on.
Do you
But
typically do every day or every other
I
day?
do I try to go every day, and
Okay.
then they could be from anywhere from like a half hour quick saying hi to everybody to I've had ones that lasted till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I ain't got that kind of time. I got to be at work and take the kid to school. I'm inside it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I got to show you this. This is new. Oh God, I'm knocking everything around. Bull and China shop. All right, sorry guys. This is the first time I've had this on an episode. I found this in a cabinet. This was my grandmother's before she
Mhm.
passed. And inside of it, oh, I got please stop on that one. Sorry, honey. Are antique pins and brooches that I don't know where they came
Ooh.
from. I don't know how. I'm hoping is please listen. Okay, we're gonna put this away because it's definitely granddaughter. Hi, grandma.
Well,
Hey, welcome to the podcast. She was so cool. She was like an older version of me. So super awesome. But hi, grandma. That's who I was named after.
oh yeah?
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, so tune into him, go follow him and everything. We'll do it again at the end. But as per the norm, I did not tell you about what we are
I
talking about. You don't know diddly about daddly.
no.
And I have already taken my first shot of vodka. There's
Oh yeah.
four.
Wait, when you were taking your shot, your K2 meter went off too.
Did it? This is so weird.
Mm.
So I got, let me go back because that was like really fast. There's four. I'm not from here, which is probably yours. And then married, which I am currently not going to be. I don't think I've announced that on the podcast. I'm currently in the midst of a divorce. Don't worry, it's amicable. We get along fine. Everything's good. He's a sweet guy. Things just didn't work out. Big age difference, and it just got to us, but still love him dearly. Okay. I am going to talk about, ironically, we were talking about spelunking. That is really good segue for the Wabasha Street Caves.
Ooh.
So I've never done a cave system before. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. So if you see anything move, sorry, that's me. Okay. Um, I've never done one. I was just poking around and I'm going to give some props. I know that they have probably no idea who I am, but the ladies over it, and that's why we drink. I bought their book, their Atlas book, and I was wanting an idea for something spooky. I just opened it up and I was like, oh, this place is cool. So it is inspired by them. So go check them out. They're great. And I was looking at the term or the title is A Haunted Road Atlas. Oh my gosh, it looks like Sir. I don't know what I was drinking when I made these notes. Stop, Dangerous Destination, and True Crime Tales. So
I
if you
think I
guys
have
want,
it on my wish list on Amazon.
it is great. They did an awesome job. I love those ladies, even though they have no idea who I am. I might tag them just to see if they like listen and let me know if they hear it. I know who you are, even though you don't know me. Lots of love. However, if you just so happen to be around Minneapolis, Minnesota. Ooh, that was pretty good, right? Sorry, sometimes I get a little possessed and the comes out. Uh, but seriously, go on over to 215 Wabasha. Is it Wabasha or Wabasha? Probably Wabasha Street South. There's famous and only privately owned man-made sandstone caves. And I now know why it looked like it was Sinister Stops, Dangerous Destination, and True Crime Tales. Because my dumb ass didn't have my thing expanded. It was cutting the words off. It says, I see you. There are 7 caves in total, and they measure at an exceptional 12,000 square feet, and it lies underneath a pretty substantial plateau. I think it's going now.
It's been going off since you mentioned the road atlas.
Oh, that's so funny. Maybe it likes the road atlas. Maybe it was reading it with me. Who knows? The caves were originally used as mines back in the 1840s, and they were working to extract silica that could be used in glass making, which I thought was really cool. Aside from mining silica, they use the extra space for storing food, growing tasty mushrooms. And I was wondering, are these the medicinal kind, the natural kind, or just are they magic mushrooms, or do only magic mushrooms grow in cow poop? I don't know, man. I don't know my shrooms.
Yeah, me
I need to
neither.
talk to my mushroom lady. Okay. Shout out. She is amazing. It is a literally, I love the name of her business, a fungus among us. Oh, it agreed. And I love her. She is an absolute doll. Love her to death. Go check her page out, like her, all of that fun stuff because she is phenomenal. I know she's not a podcaster, but trust me, she deserves a shout. Understanding. See? Got this.
I can tell you, I probably won't be able to buy any of her mushrooms if they're magical.
Oh,
Take it
no,
off
hers
the
are
order.
not. Hers are all strictly natural growing. So it's local too. So she has her own facility where she grows local mushrooms. So that way she knows what's in what and she knows that they're not going to be tainted or special or whatever. Like they are very good. I've gotten some of her stuff. She even has like they're powdered. So you could put them in like coffee or you could put them on. I put it on some cabbage and oh my God, it was good. So it was so good. I think I used the entire shaker on 3 bowls of cabbage. It was fantastic. But yeah, so she's great and everything there is all whole, everything's natural, there's nothing added. It is just strictly what it is. And if you have questions, she is so good at educating people on the health benefits and everything. She's just amazing. So again, a fungus among us, fantastic. Am I a ghost? Yes. I would say yes. Sorry, honey. I think I just bursted her bubble. Let's see
I mean, to
here.
us, or to them, we probably are ghosts.
Asking if she's a ghost.
Oh,
So I'm gonna say, yeah, that's a good guess.
sometimes I get asked, "Am I a ghost?"
Yeah, am I a
Like,
ghost? Sorry, honey.
no, like,
Oh, are you a
like,
ghost? Oh,
yeah,
no, mine,
kind of
no.
like,
Maybe it's because of the weird stuff that I've got going on. They could tell that I am. They just refer to me as either a witch or a hag or a seer. Like they, all those cool terms, depending on how old they are. But anyway, so aside from mushrooms in general, I cannot say
yeah.
whether or not they are magical, but they're mushrooms. Okay. Now, there was also an area that they set aside to put items that were washed up during floods. Who is that? Okay, so this is Robert. This is Robert. I'm Natasha. Welcome to the podcast. Can you tell us your name? Very much. Another thing that they did, they actually used it for entertaining the upper class people and gangsters. Like how freaking badass. Sorry, I'm gonna wait. There we go. I was turning colors. I had to stop. So a French immigrant named Albert Mochnata, I think is how you pronounce that. Mochnota, maybe I don't know. He's French, so maybe it's Mochnota. That still sounds a little German. Sorry,
Yeah,
apparently
that's
my
some
German
good.
and my Russian, I can't help myself, all right? But anyway, his family came over in the early 1900s and they discovered that the atmosphere. Do you want to play? Sure. It's bright. Oh, sorry. I usually have it darker in here.
Mm.
Is that better? There's 3 now. Hi, 3. But they're the ones that actually discovered that these caves were ideal for sprouting popular mushrooms that people ate. So over time, the family grew and supplied from local suppliers and distributed them eventually all over the country. So this little bitty cave system in Minnesota ended up supplying mushrooms to the entire nation. And by the 1920s, the prohibition obviously created an even higher demand for a safe place to hang out and get sloshed. So from there, people from all classes would gather into the caves and enjoy the newly opened Wabasha Street Speakeasy. How
Oh,
awesome is that? That place has got to look so freaking cool, I would
yeah.
imagine. Would you put floors in or would you just use like the regular floor?
They probably have just like the dirt.
It'd be slippery, wouldn't it?
Not if it's
You got
dry.
a bunch of drunk people and they're like around a cave. Because in order to grow mushrooms, it would have to be somewhat damp and cool.
Yeah. So no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're
You
crazy over here.
you wouldn't be able to put a floor in there though.
I'm thinking if you like laid some like sawdust or some wood or I don't know, something. Any hoozles, I don't know. To be determined. There's probably pictures online that I didn't save. Sorry, guys. But even today, you can find photos hanging on the walls of the infamous gangsters that were there. Like they still got the
Ooh,
photos up. It's got to be pretty badass.
yeah.
Now, the daughter of the previously mentioned mushroom farmer and her husband took it upon themselves to operate a romantically themed nightclub called the Castle Royal. And the grand opening was, oh, that's funny, October 26th. I know a very special person. This birthday is October 26th of 1933. And you would never believe that this thing was a cave. So it had a 1,600 square foot dance floor, exquisite and lush oriental carpets. It had elegant chandeliers and a high stakes gambling room that was tucked away in the back. Furthermore, notable regulars at this nightclub ran in circles with John Dillinger, Ma Barker, and Alvin Creepy. I think it's Carips. Sorry, my pronunciation goes to after I drink. Sorry, guys.
Mhm.
Now, during this time, also a local legend laid some roots. So many moons ago, four, that's funny, four notorious gangsters were conducting a serious card game in the back room. When out of nowhere, a man entered the room carrying a case and boldly telling that the band had to leave the premises and said, Say, could you quit early tonight? We have some unfinished business to take care of. Sorry, I don't have a very good gangster voice. Can you do better than that?
No, I got no.
I can't do it. I need a good, like, Chicago or, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But I got nothing. Now, everyone compiled, Jesus Christ, complied with the request except the four gangsters, the man with the case, and one waitress. Now, that waitress has got some balls, man. She's like, you motherfuckers ain't leaving unless I'm paid. I ain't going nowhere.
Listen.
She probably had mouths to feed at home. Now, the waitress had gone into the kitchen to get the men some drinks at the time. So she maybe just stumbled into it, didn't realize what was going on. While she was in the kitchen, however, she heard some strange popping sounds from the other room. Lo and behold, the pops were legit gangster weapon of choice, the good old Tommy gun. This is like gangster movie style. And yeah, when the waitress got back to the room, now this is funny because I've gotten there's four and then there's three, and now it says dead. Three of the card players were dead on the floor. Thank you for telling my story, Ghost. Way to bury the lead. But one of the players had run off with the extra man, and many believe was an accomplice to the entire crime. So one guy was not murdered, mysteriously vanished with the guy with the case, which I'm assuming the case held the Tommy gun. And of course, the waitress, did what she's supposed to do, called the police immediately. When the police arrived, there were no bodies. No body, no crime.
Where'd the bodies go?
The legend states that the police accused the waitress of crying wolf, but Oh my gosh, she just said kitchen. That's where she was. Okay. Now, they say that the bodies may have been moved and buried elsewhere, and she was just being gaslighted. She sternly pointed out that the shooting had occurred and the bullet holes were in the wall. The evidence was in the wall and could prove that there was a shooting. And to this day, the bullet holes are still in the fireplace.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now, again, Castle Royal thrived in the 1930s, but had to close its doors in 1941 because of the start of World War II. After they closed everything down, it went back to primarily being used for mushrooms because it was still good for that, right? It still had the good atmosphere and all of the stuff that it needed, the environment to provide for that. Then Kraft even used it as a storage space, like the Kraft cheese people.
Hmm.
So later in the 1970s, the business was referred to as Castle Royal 2.0, and it was a down and groovy disco place. Can you imagine discoing in the cave? Nowadays, you can schedule anything from a banquet, swing dancing events, cave tours, and even weddings inside this cave. I would not want to get married in a cave, but that's just me. Who do I know? What do I know? What do I know? I ain't getting married again anyway. Screw that. But in April of 2004, the caves became a tomb for three 17-year-old boys. Now things start getting dark. 5 curious kids had been exploring the cave when they pass out due to carbon monoxide poisoning. Difficult, is what it says. One of which came to and managed to escape the caves and go get help. One of the 4 remaining boys was able to be resuscitated en route to the hospital. But unfortunately, the other 3 boys never regained consciousness. So they maybe got so far deep. And I know sometimes you get into a pocket and that pocket has the gases trapped in it and it can't get out. That's probably what
Yeah.
happened. And they just didn't even know because, you can't smell it. You can't see it. You just are done. So they're lucky. The 2 boys are lucky that one was able to get out and get help. But the other 3 just didn't make it.
Yeah.
And in 1992, the Grim Reaper struck again, claiming the lives of 2 more 17-year-old girls by once again carbon monoxide poisoning. The cave stole the lives of 3 more victims, 1 by fire, 1 by drowning. Please continue. Thank you. So 1 by fire, 1 by drowning, and 1 by a collapsed cave section. So we've primarily got death of children. Everybody else is not, I guess, so you have 3 gangsters, then you have kids.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some stuff going on here. There's probably some bad mojo. Now we're going to kind of get into like the spooky section. So many claim that the entities present in the caves are not at all standoffish and are more willing to appear right in front of everybody. So one spirit looks to be a man wearing a Panama hat that simply wanders around minding his own business. Now, what I'm wondering is, could this potentially simply be a hat man? Maybe it's not a person in general. Maybe it's just one of the hat men situations.
Yeah.
Possibly. Who knows? There's also a man that likes to meet a woman at the bar around 3 a.m. He's persistent. And sometimes the people practicing on stage have seen a man sitting out in the audience. In the 70s, there were reports of stage equipment being thrown off stage. So maybe if he just doesn't like the music, you're not funky enough, he just throws your speakers off. I don't know.
Yeah. They're not disco enough for them.
And that's some disco inferno. Sorry, bad joke. Sorry, guys. Another sad
Yeah.
spook is a woman that seems to be wandering through the cave searching for someone or something, but nobody ever knows what it is she's looking for. During the disco period, one of the employees and the manager witnessed a super sketchy fella with quote unquote dead eyes that walked angrily right by them and then just walked through the wall, just disappeared into the wall. Mean mug and then into the wall. Can you imagine? It's, oh, I'm not coming back to work. This dude's out to get me and he just disappeared. No, thank you. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'll wait outside.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, no worries. So at one of the wondrous weddings that they have, I'm confused. The little ring bearer told the others at the event that he had fun playing with those men. And nobody could figure out who the kid was talking about until they were presented with some photos. Hey, among them was a snapshot of the little boy sitting at a table, grinning ear to ear. And around him appeared to be three kind of misty apparitions. Not quite enough. A more detailed account tells of a little boy bouncing a ball. When it went away from him, it landed in the men's bathroom. Ew. When the boy went to fetch his ball, he saw a man dressed as an old timey gangster who was like in the mirror, like adjusting his tie, like down to. That's so weird. I just said that him adjusting his stuff, and it goes reflection. I'm like, probably in the reflection, yes. So he was adjusting his tie. The man looked down at the boy, smiled, gave a quick little wink, okay, and then left, just disappeared. Was like, "What's up, kid? Keep it cool," and then just vanished. I would shit my pants. One spirit also shows up in a sharp dressed suit and a hat with what seems to be intro music. Can you imagine being a ghost and you're like constantly I wonder if it's the disco time intro music when you're like waiting for him to come out and like, bust the move.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And as with most haunted places, there's a lonely woman who mopes around the bar and looks frightening to those who catch a glimpse of her. You get one of those in every location you look at. Now, there was a
Yeah.
quote worth mentioning here. It says dig. It says, for tour guide Brett Williams, ghostly encounters are an everyday occurrence. It says there will be whistling, there will be footsteps. It's bizarre, he said. I've never seen ghosts so bold. So what do you think? Would you visit the cave?
Yeah.
Really? Would you like go out and explore even though you know that it's already doomed, like 5 kids?
Yeah, I'd go in there.
Uh, Probably go to like, a swing dance thing. That'd be fun. It's a satisfying. It's okay that you go, apparently, because they're saying it's satisfying. So
I
that's
would
the Wabasha
definitely.
Caves. I would not go. You would go. Okay, I would go if it's like an event, but I died. Yeah. So I don't think I would go explore too thoroughly because of the risk of carbon monoxide. Unless I had like like one of those little like a sensor that would go off to tell me if it was getting too dangerous.
Yeah. I definitely would not go explore that alone, but I would go explore it.
Yeah. Okay. So that is the Wabasha Caves. Sorry, they wear me out when there's a lot of them in here. I know that you've had some encounters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Tell me if you could think of the first time that happened to the point where you were like, son of a bitch, this is real and my whole life has changed.
I don't know if I don't really have one particular, but I do have one where I'm like, okay, there's got to be something going on here, and it
Okay.
happened to me over the summer.
Like this?
So, yeah, this summer.
Okay.
So me and my
You had a
stepbrother,
lot more going on that you would have been like, oh, okay. But go ahead. Sorry. Continue.
but I've had a couple of things where it's like, mm, but like
Sure.
nothing up until this point that like while I'm filming, going, okay, that's something paranormal.
Sorry, my
But
ghost just said, bring it.
just everybody wants to fight me lately.
Yeah, bring it on. Bring on your story.
But so the story that I like um that I'm gonna tell you is me and my stepbrother were at a cemetery. It's just starting to get a little dark, like not too dark, so you could still see. And it's one of the like a mausoleum for the
Oh,
founder of my city. So we're sitting there, we're doing like we have the spirit box and all that kind of stuff. And we're asking questions. Nothing's really happening. So I said to my stepbrother, okay, let's just go. Like, we'll go explore another part of the cemetery. Like, we're asking, like, how did you die? And it's saying purple.
So sometimes I've decided, so in here, I get really lucky. And I think the ones that are around here, so they know and they understand that the, can you hear her? That's why. I have a hard time hearing, which is why I use this app and not like I have necrophonic. But with the extra noise, because my ears are damaged, I can't sift through the static and I can't understand what they're saying. It says indeed, so I read it on here. So the ones around here understand that this is how you talk to me. And everything's, for the most part, pretty coherent. Like you can ask questions, it follows along, it'll know things that happened like yesterday. That, and this phone that I use for this stays in the studio. So it's not like I'm walking around with it. Its microphone could pick up everything I'm saying every day. Like it's
Yeah.
only in here and it's turned off unless I'm using it. So it's not picking anything up.
I don't
If
know
I
what
go
it is.
some, yeah, so if I go some places, it's almost like I don't think that either they don't understand how to use it properly, or there's just so many things happening that it seems like it's very incoherent, if that makes sense.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So sometimes you're listening, you get words and you're going, what the hell? Doesn't make any sense. Purple donkeys, what?
Yeah.
But
So,
anyway, sorry, continue.
so I was like, okay, let's just go. We'll go to another part and we'll come back. Like, because we had planned to be there till 1 or 2 in the morning, right? And it's only 9 o'clock.
That was a very weird voice I've never heard before. It says infuriated. And then another one goes, when? So something really cranky is not happy that you're talking, but it's okay. Continue. You can deal with it.
Yeah. It might be part of the story.
Okay.
Yeah. So as soon as I said that to my stepbrother, let's go. And for context, the phone that I use for this, it doesn't have a SIM card in it. It doesn't have you can connect it to Wi-Fi, but Wi-Fi is turned off. So it's literally just the phone.
Yeah.
And he's holding on to it as part of that. That's another part of the story. And so we start walking and I like stumble. And so I'm like, oh, okay. Like he goes, oh, you're right. I'm like, yeah, there's a pothole I must have stepped in. No word of a lie. As soon as I said that, the ghost app said, haha, I pushed you. Did you fall? Did it hurt? And,
I'm confused.
and my stepbrother looks at the phone, looks at me and goes, clearly they are here now.
There we go. I'm going to turn this out so that way they can hear you talk too. Because I think maybe they're getting confused because they can't, because it's in my headphones. So I'm going to turn it out. Maybe they can hear you a little better.
But yeah,
Oh my
so
God. So it's
that
like,
was,
bitch, I pushed your ass. Did it
yeah.
hurt? Hurt?
Yeah. But like it didn't even fall or anything. It was like when you like step on a rock or something, you step forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally like that. Like I missed my step and I just went, whoa. And then all of a sudden it just said all four of that. I was like, and it was just like there was a little hole like where looked like a pipe was. And so I said, oh, like I must have stepped on that. And
And
sure
it's
enough,
like,
I
no,
yeah.
I pushed you.
Yeah.
Don't give that rock no credit. Don't give that hole no credit.
Yeah. You should. I wish I was filming at the time because I just turned off my camera because I was like,
It's probably waiting. It was like, fuck you. I'm going to show you now when you're not looking.
Because I wish I would have got my stepbrother's reaction on it as well. Because it was like, and like,
yeah, I would have stopped and been like, now I do got to ask, did it feel like anything pushed you?
not really. Like I didn't. But like, it was weird. Like because there was a time where I was out filming by myself, and I seen a pentagram on the ground, and
That's interesting. Like in the middle of nowhere?
yeah, just the middle of like an old.
There was
town.
nothing else around it?
It was just like there was like a highway on the one side, but you can't get to the highway from the trail. You go like underneath the highway, and there's a blacksmith built like an old blacksmith shop from like the 1800s.
Okay.
And fenced it off because people were trying to break in and
Oh,
vandalize it.
people like you were trying to break
Yeah.
in.
Mhm. I don't vandalize them. So,
No, but you still broke in.
yeah,
That still constitutes a B&E
yeah.
and not bacon and eggs.
But I never got into the any building that's fenced off. I don't go
Oh,
into
okay.
unless there's a like a wide opening.
Yeah.
So
So when you go out, do you use any specialized equipment?
I have the ghost apps, and that's pretty much it. Like I have flashlights, I have cameras.
So I had on Bob from Ghost Stop a few weeks ago. And that's where I get a lot of my alien. That's where I get a lot of my equipment from, like when I started. And it's
Okay.
really pretty user friendly. But they developed a new item. It's a bell, and it is so cool. So it's just like a box with a little bell, like you'd have like an old school hotel. But it's like
Okay.
ding, but it's got a sensor, so they have to actually actively move to set the bell off. And he said he's had a lot of activity with it. I'm wanting to save up money and get one because it'd be awesome. I either want one of those or one of the music boxes. But
Yes,
for
those are.
me, the ones that I typically use, so this green guy up here, this parapuppy, I make him. So I can custom
You
make
were
them.
saying that.
Yeah.
You were saying that you make that kind of stuff.
And so in his mouth and in all of his paws, I can either do 2 paws, 4 paws, whatever. It's pretty customizable. I'm getting ready to put them back on the store. But I have spots. So you can either take these light sensors and you could put them in the paws. So, and you could set them up. And what I do is I keep the K2 meter in his chest pocket so you can
Okay.
see if something gets close. And then a couple times, like I'll just set them out and just watch and ask questions and stuff. And things will come hit the sensors. And that's why his mouth and his paws are always a lighter color. So when you put the sensors in, you can see them when they light up. And he's gotten a lot of activity. And then I also twin flame. Okay, apparently I really need to get a hold of somebody. There's a particular person who we're talking about. Um, but it's gotten a lot of activity whenever I take it out. That's why I never sell him enraged. Something is very
Mhm.
angry. I probably need to. I'll just send him a message when we're done. I will message him when we're done. Okay,
Mhm.
sufficient. Thank you. He knows I'm recording. It's fine. But you could put. I made it to where you could put whatever you want in there. So if you wanted to put a Bluetooth speaker and pair your spirit box to it, you can. Or
I
you know, you,
do. I forgot that. I do have two EMF readers too.
yep.
I have
I prefer the cat ball sensors because the cat ball sensors, you have to physically move it. You have to touch it or it will not work. I I'm iffy on the EMF. Like in this situation where I'm here, I am stationary and I know what is in the room, I know that things can't affect it. But when you go somewhere to investigate, I don't really like using the EMF reader as much because you don't know harmful. Exactly. You don't know what is interfering, and you might be picking up on something that's not really there. It could pick up on your
yeah.
cell phone. It could pick up on anything in the
Mhm.
vicinity. It could pick up on, and I just don't know how I feel about that.
And I feel if I know I got my EMF reader from Amazon,
Yeah,
and noticed that if I step too hard holding it, it will go off.
because I'm weird. I found out that I actually emit electricity naturally. So I got to be careful. I can use it, but if I touch it, sometimes it'll set it off. But it's just because I have this weird, which apparently has, I think it has some, visit you. Yes.
Mhm.
I have some weird stuff. And I think that's why I can do some of the things that I can do. I think it is in part because of this energy that my body emits, because I've not met very many people that have it. And I've even had other people that are very much into Reiki and energy work and holistic stuff, that when they touch my skin in a non creepy way, just to clarify, but when they touch my skin, like they can feel that, like I can put my hand above your hand and not touch you, and you'll feel me. I will make your hands
Hmm.
hot. You will feel the energy. It's like a low grade current, and I don't know how or why I do it, but I do. So I try to be very careful with EMF if I don't want to be touching it, because sometimes I will set it off on accident.
Fair enough.
But I like the things that you have to actively do something to trigger it,
Yeah.
just personally.
I do use the cat balls once in a while, but mine are getting to be almost a year and a half old. So
Oh, you
some of
mean yours
them,
last that long?
yeah.
Shit. Okay, so mine are so active because when I record, I turn them on, and because
Yeah.
of the stuff that follows me around, it drains everything so fast that I go through cat balls. One will last me, don't even last me a month, and I
Oh,
don't record every day either.
yeah. No, if
But
I, if,
I'll come in, and sometimes if there's a lot of activity or something specific around, two, yeah, there's two things around. Thank you. There's two things around or anything like that. I'm good. How are you? But anyway, like I've come into the studio at every single cat ball. So I had candlesticks with 5 candles in it. And I got the candles because I didn't want to light them and clean up the mess. I got the battery operated candles. So each candle has two AA batteries. That's a lot of candles and a lot of batteries. That means that
yeah.
I had 10 candlesticks and 20 AA batteries. I had 4 cat balls and my K2 meter. When I went into my studio the next week and I had only recorded angry, thank you. When I had only recorded one time, when I went out there, every battery, every single candlestick was dead, every cat ball dead. The only thing that still had battery life was my K2 meter.
Was it the
Everything
winter
else
or the
was
summertime?
drained. Nope. Summertime, George. Hi, George. I don't know George. Do you know George?
I don't know, George.
I don't know George. George, who are you? Sink. You got anything weird that happens to your sink?
No, I don't think so.
Neither. I have a light that it flickers above my sink. Is that you?
I hear once in a while I hear running water, but I don't. The
Maybe
tap's
that's
not
you
on.
then. Maybe it's what do you think, yo?
Yeah.
George, are you from
There's running
Robert?
water. I like it sometimes when I go live, and I'll just put like hanging out, and
Pardoned.
and my ghost will be super active, and the people on my in my live are freaking out. I'm just like, it's fine.
Yeah, like I'll just things will be like flashing behind me. And I'm like, is that
Yeah.
George? George, did you do that? Sometimes I move it too. Sometimes I don't like to talk whenever it's right next to me.
After you left, were you
It's,
in there
it's
when
like
my mom
last
was
night or
there?
the night before.
No, okay. So then it was Wednesday night. My mom came into my live, like my TikTok live, and so she's talking to me. I'm talking to all my other supporters too, and all of a sudden, all of a sudden, all they heard was a bang,
Oh
and they
yeah, you're
kind of
telling me about
startled.
that. On the
Yeah,
table. I know it's on the table. Sorry, something is like really hitting my ass all of a sudden.
and it literally made me jump because I wasn't expecting it or like anything.
Because didn't it tell you it was gonna make a noise?
It said listen like 20 minutes
Yeah.
before, and so I'm listening, and then all of a sudden I forgot about it, and I'm just talking to people, and all of a sudden they heard a bang, And so I was like, I should go probably look to go see what that was. There was nothing on the ground. There was nothing. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And then probably about another hour, I finished the live and I had a bag of cutlery that like the plastic cutlery that you take
Yeah,
when you go like
I have
camping or
them in,
something.
yep, I've got some in my drawer.
And
It fell off the counter or the
yeah,
cabinet.
it would have been like one of those little
This is real.
metal trays, like those disposable metal trays that you can put in the oven.
Huh.
Yeah. So I had it in there. So somehow it got up out of that and onto my kitchen floor.
Yeah. This one over here is, yeah, real. Like, for reals. Whatever it is, it's definitely it's reiterating your story, that's for sure.
Yeah. And
But
then
yeah, so I sometimes wonder, so do you ever ask who it is? Do they ever give you an inkling? Like, I have some that I know who they are.
no, once in a while I'll get names, but it's never like somebody that I know.
Oh, yeah, some of mine I don't know, but I at least know their name. So a lot of
Yeah.
times too, now in here it's a little different. When my studio was out in the other area, I had specific sensors and spots, and I would know who it was. Louder. I would know who it was based on which light they were using. The one at the bottom is usually for the kids because it's short and they kept telling me they couldn't reach. So I moved it down, then it started working. The one up here, it seems to be over this shoulder. A lot of times seems to be a guy named Philip that absolutely adores Kevin from Where the Weird Ones Are. And then I have, you want crazy, I had one, it kept giving me a name and I couldn't understand. Then it was giving me a friend's name. And I'm like, oh, do you want me to talk to them? Do they know who you are? And they kept saying their name. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I go ask them, does this name mean anything to you? And they just stop dead in their tracks. They're like, how did you know that name? And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, they were talking to me last night. And they're like, excuse me? I'm like, does that mean anything to you? And they're like, yes, it does, because they went overseas and one of their unit didn't make it home. And that was his name. Yeah, and so which made a lot of sense with the words he was giving me. I'm like, I don't understand what the you're telling me. So then I was like, I think he wants to talk to you, but he follows me everywhere. So I was like, I think I could get him to talk to you. I was like, sentenced. And so I said, sometimes it's like they can't hear you if you're asking, but if I ask, they can hear me. I don't know why, but I'm very good at communicating with them. And he told me he wrote something down in a Post-it note and folded it up, and he handed it to me. He said, "Don't open this until I tell you to." I said, "Okay." He goes, "Now ask this question word for word." I said, "Okay, I can do that." And I said, "Okay, so and so, I'm talking to you." And I clean, yeah. And so I asked the question, and after a couple times asking the question, I got an answer, and the look on his face was like, he was like, oh my God, I know who it is." He goes, "Open the Post-it note." And I opened the Post-it note and it was what he wrote, because him and this guy, their unit had a saying, if one asked a question, you gave a specific answer. So when he asked the question, he got the specific answer.
That's crazy. That gave me chills.
He goes, "It's obvious." But yeah, it's so cool. So he had a nickname. So I programmed his nickname into my phone so that way he could register it if he wanted to. And then I was able to ask him, like, can you tell me what your nickname is? It says forgive. It's okay. Cryptid. I forgive you, whatever it is. I don't think you did anything to me. He, I don't know what he did. Who's he?
What did I do?
Yeah, I don't know. Forgive cryptid he. Okay. Whatever it is, I forgive you.
Maybe they're talking about the time that I tried to get, or I tried to figure out. I shouldn't really say I tried to figure out, but I was talking to some of my native friends about the skinwalkers.
Oh, maybe. We don't talk about those on my usually.
They're
I try to respect those that are of any type of background, if there's something in particular that I know really bothers a certain group of people, I try not to talk about them.
Yeah.
Please go.
Mm.
But yeah, okay. So if you had a favorite cryptid, what would it be?
Mothman.
Really? Why Mothman?
Because he was actually in my city.
So mainstream though. It's
And
in your city.
yeah, Mothman came to Hamilton, Ontario.
We got green again. I don't know what's green. My Mountain Dew's green.
I'm drinking out of your green cup.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. Confusion. Yeah, I know. I'm confused too, honey. I don't know what's going on.
But yeah, no, Mothman's always been my favorite.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Snallygaster.
When you were, I did listen to I did listen to that podcast, and I was like, he sounds so cool.
He's so awesome. He looks just like he's like the derp cryptid. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that because he's going to make an appearance on my New Year's Eve cage match.
Whoa.
That
No.
also for those of you who haven't been listening, also, so New Year's Eve, my goal is to have a couple ladies on that that I have recorded with multiple times on the podcast. Play with you. I heard something else, but anyway, so they're going to be on, and I developed a thing called Countdown to New Year's Cryptid Cage Match. So we're going to be taking two. So my goal is land based. You get two land based cryptids, and they battle it out. Who's going to win? Then you do two or air based cryptids. Who's going to win? Then you do two like water based
Okay.
cryptids. Who's going to win? And I want to do that. So think you're from like Canada, eh?
Yeah.
You still know what March Madness is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, stupid, but I don't know what. But I think Cryptid Universe meets March Madness. So then we can have a champion.
Yeah.
So that's my goal, and Snally's making an appearance. Well, I was gonna do Mothman, but I was like, Mothman would be an air based. But I figured if I do Mothman, everybody's gonna say Mothman. So I think I'm just gonna save it for later. It's a surprise. Mothman will be in there, I promise, somewhere, just like Dogman and Bigfoot will be in it. I'm trying to focus on the ones that I've covered in the pod already. Now, granted, Mothman I haven't covered, but I think everybody knows enough about Mothman.
I know that's the part that I like about Mothman is everybody knows about him being in the United States. Not very many people know about him visiting Canada.
For those of you who haven't, go. I shout these guys out all the on no account is what it says. So inferior, the fuck you? Clearly a man, but but I shout these guys out all the time. So the Cryptonaut podcast, which is the main reason that I started podcasting, is because of these men. They are so amazing. They are cool. They are down to earth. Bobby is just an amazing writer, and I love his voice. He could just soothe you like butter, right? It's beautiful. And Mark is hysterical. I had him on the show, and I was fangirling, trying not to show it. And then Chris is always like the guy that keeps their head on straight. He's always the negative guy. Not negative, but he tries to be very realistic, and keep everybody down to earth there. And they are fantastic. But they have seriously go check it out. If you like Mothman, they have multi-part piece. They get deep into Mothman. There is no anal that they did not explore on Mothman. And let's just turn it on. Mm, but and I'm part of their Patreon feed. I don't subscribe to a lot of people and pay, but I pay for them because I absolutely adore everything that they do. They are fantastic guys. They are great. And somebody had compiled all of their episodes about Mothman into one solid episode. It's 8 hours long,
Holy, yeah.
but it is so worth it. The research that Bobby does, Uncle Bobby knows how to research, guys. He does such an amazing job. He gets so deep into it and they just present it so well. Definitely go check it out. I cannot give this guys enough of credit because they are fantastic. Hi guys. Go back. But yeah, so definitely with Mothman, I definitely tell people to check it out.
When you were talking about fangirling, your K2 meter was going on nuts.
Which one was it?
The K2 meter?
Oh,
when you were talking about you were trying not to fangirl?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, when Mark told me he would be on my episode, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like when I got okay, for starters, I wrote a poem. I used to dabble in poetry. Keep your eyes peeled. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I'm actually working to get, how many are there? I don't know. I'm going to make a few, but I write poetry and I'm doing them cryptid based and I want to do cryptid poetry in like a little book, like a little short book. And maybe what do they call it? Like a coffee table book or whatever the hell it's called. And I had wrote one for their podcast, all based on their personas and the topics they covered and the things that they said. And I wrote it and oh my gosh. So I got this email back and Uncle Bobby was telling me that I really did enjoy it. And I squealed like a little
You
and I was just like, and did all of that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, would one of you guys like to be on the podcast? I really thought I was shooting in the dark. I thought there was no way in hell. And then, baby. Yes, darling. Nothing? I was talking dirty to me for a second. Now, but when he got on, he was like, oh, I'll be on the podcast. I screamed so loud. I was doing a little happy. And then my brother was like, okay, be cool. And I was like, but they're phenomenal. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, my face was just beat red. My heart was racing. Oh my gosh, it was such an honor. We can't say. Okay. But I think that pretty much kind of wraps up where we're at. Sorry, I went a little fangirl craze there. I do that every time I talk about them. I can't help myself. But again, everybody, it's Robert, but you're not going to know him as Robert. You're going to know him as Deja Vu Exploration. Is it with an S or no S?
Exploration.
No S. Got it. No S. And again,
it's
TikTok.
all one word.
Yeah,
It's
one word. TikTok is where the lives are. He does have a YouTube, so wherever it goes, hell, subscribe to both, like both, share both. He's on there all the time. When you get on TikTok, if you're online and somebody you know goes live, it tells you.
Yeah.
And I try really hard to try to pop in and just to be like, and then give you like a gazillion hearts, and then I leave. Appreciate your like count. And then I usually have to make dinner or get the kid ready for bed or some stupid responsible bullshit.
You're in there talking and then it's just, you're gone. And I'm like, are you still here?
Yeah. Thank you for listening to this episode of Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. If you wouldn't mind, please take a moment and give the show a 5-star review wherever you're listening. I know it might not seem like much, but it greatly helps the show and allows people to find us more easily. Also, head on over to www.patreon.com/Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy and subscribe to any of the tiers. Members of the Big Show tier get bonus materials, personalized shoutouts on the pod, ad-free episodes, access to the private Discord server, quarterly appreciation gifts, and a chance to be on the show. not to mention video versions of the episode. Before you go, don't forget to click the link in the description and grab yourself or someone you know some self-designed merch by me, or make a donation to help keep the show going and fund future events and investigations. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Threads, and TikTok. If you have any questions, topic recommendations, or personal encounters, please send them to cryptidscreepsandconspiracy@gmail.com or submit them through the contact form at www.cryptidscreepsandconspiracy.com. I would love to hear from you and share your experiences on a listener episode. Just make sure that you specify that I have permission to add your encounter to the show and let me know whether or not you would like your real name read or an alias to maintain confidentiality. Thank you guys all again so much for your support. Until next time, my friends. See ya.